Imagine being handed the role of a lifetime only to have it snatched away amid accusations and scandal. Was Raquel really the difficult star MGM claimed, or was there something we were not told? Today, we dive deep into the events that led to her shocking firing from Canary Row. Discover the untold truths, the battles behind the scenes, and the resilience of a star who fought against the odds. The Canary Row controversy. In December 1980, Raquel Welch was cast in a major role in the film adaptation of John Steinbeck's Canary Row. This role was seen as an opportunity to take her career to new heights. However, just 4 weeks into filming, she was abruptly fired by MGM. The studio claimed she was not living up to her contract, citing her refusal to participate in early morning rehearsals and insistence on doing her own hair and makeup. This move by MGM was shocking and controversial, sparking a significant media frenzy. Welch filed a lawsuit against MGM alleging wrongful termination. She argued that the firing was a ploy to replace her with a younger actress, Deborah Winger. This lawsuit revealed the behind-the-scenes politics and power struggles within Hollywood. Her legal team presented evidence that MGM had conspired to remove her from the project, to save money and exploit her established star power to generate buzz for the film before replacing her. In 1986, after a lengthy legal battle, the court ruled in favor of Welch, awarding her $11.8 million in damages. This victory was a significant moment in Hollywood history, highlighting the industry's often brutal treatment of its stars. Despite winning the lawsuit, the fallout from the case proved devastating for her career. She later stated, "It basically brought my film career to a screeching halt. It was numbing." The controversy had a lasting impact on Welch's reputation. Media outlets labeled her as difficult to work with, and many industry insiders were hesitant to hire her for future projects. The incident also brought to light the double standards faced by actresses in Hollywood. While male actors were often celebrated for their demands and eccentricities, female actors like Welch were vilified for similar behavior. The lawsuit and its aftermath marked a turning point in her career. She continued to work in the industry, but the roles she received were not of the same caliber as those in her earlier years. Breaking into Hollywood. The Canary Row controversy marked a dramatic turning point in Raquel Welch's career. But to understand how she got there, we must look back at her rise to stardom in Hollywood. She began her Hollywood journey in the mid-1960s. Born Jo Raquel Tejada on September 5, 1940 in Chicago, she moved to California as a child. Her beauty and talent quickly caught the attention of casting agents. In 1966, she landed her breakout role in Fantastic Voyage, a sci-fi film where she played a member of a miniaturized medical team traveling inside a human body. The film was a box office hit, and she became an overnight sensation. Shortly after, she starred in 1,000,000 Years BC, 1966. The film itself was not critically acclaimed, but her portrayal of a prehistoric woman in a fur bikini became iconic. The promotional stills from the movie turned her into an international sex symbol. She later remarked, "I had no lines in that movie, not one word. But that bikini did all the talking." Her career soared with roles in films like Bedazzled, 1967, Bandolero, 1968, and 100 Rifles, 1969. The latter was notable for its controversial interracial love scene with Jim Brown, which was groundbreaking at the time. Raquel often spoke about the challenges she faced in Hollywood, mentioning that the industry wanted to typecast her as the sexy woman, and that she had to fight for every serious role she got. In 1973, she won a Golden Globe for her role in The Three Musketeers. She played Constance Bonacieux, showing her comedic talents alongside notable actors like Oliver Reed and Richard Chamberlain. Her performance was praised for its wit and charm, further solidifying her status as a versatile actress. Throughout the 1970s, Raquel diversified her roles, appearing in comedies, dramas, and action films. She starred in Mother Jugs and Speed, 1976, alongside Bill Cosby and Harvey Keitel. Despite mixed reviews, her performance was singled out for praise. She also made notable television appearances, including a guest spot on The Muppet Show in 1978. showcasing her ability to engage with a variety of audiences. By the late 1970s, she had established herself as a major star. Her fame extended beyond acting. She was a fashion icon and a fitness advocate. She released a series of workout videos in the 1980s, which were hugely successful. In interviews, she often spoke about the importance of fitness and health, saying, "Staying in shape is a lifelong commitment. It's not about looking good, but feeling good." However, behind these, there were constant battles with Hollywood executives who tried to pigeonhole her. She fought against being typecast and sought roles that would showcase her range as an actress. This struggle for professional respect and meaningful roles defined much of her career. The image versus reality. While Raquel Welch's public image was that of a glamorous Hollywood star, the reality behind the scenes was often more complex. Colleagues and directors had varying opinions about working with her. Some praised her professionalism and dedication, while others described her as demanding and difficult. Richard Fleischer, who directed The Prince and the Pauper, 1977, once said, "She was very professional and dedicated to her craft, but she also had high expectations of everyone around her." This sentiment was echoed by other directors who noted her meticulous attention to detail and her insistence on perfection. On the other hand, there were those who found her behavior challenging. During the filming of Myra Breckinridge, 1970, director Michael Sarn reportedly clashed with Welch frequently. The film, based on Gore Vidal's novel, was controversial and troubled from the start. She played a transgender character, a role that was groundbreaking but also risky. Sarn had described the experience as a nightmare, citing constant disagreements over scenes and her refusal to follow his direction. Despite the tensions, her performance in the film was bold and memorable, even if the film itself was critically panned. Her assertiveness was often interpreted as difficult behavior, a common double standard faced by many women in Hollywood. Men who exhibited similar traits were often seen as strong leaders, while women were labeled as problematic. Welch herself addressed this issue in interviews, explaining that standing up for herself and her work often led to being labeled as difficult. But she felt she had to do it because no one else would. Her insistence on doing her own hair and makeup was another point of contention. Welch believed that her appearance was a critical part of her brand, and she wanted to ensure it was done to her standards. This practice, while unusual, was part of her meticulous approach to her roles. She once said, "I know my face and my look better than anyone. I couldn't leave it to chance." Despite these challenges, commitment to her craft was undeniable. She put in long hours and was known for her intense preparation for roles. For Hanny Calder, 1971, she trained extensively in gun handling and horseback riding to portray a revenge-seeking widow convincingly. Her dedication paid off, earning praise for her strong, nuanced performance. The contrasting opinions about Welch's behavior highlight the complexities of navigating Hollywood as a female star. Her determination to control her image and career often put her at odds with the industry's expectations. However, it also allowed her to carve out a unique space for herself in an environment that frequently sought to limit her. While some saw her as demanding, others recognized her as a pioneer who challenged the norms of her time. Her story is a testament to the difficulties faced by women in Hollywood who refused to conform. The image of Raquel Welch that the public saw was carefully curated, but it was also a reflection of her true self: strong, independent, and unafraid to stand up for what she believed in. This duality between public persona and personal reality was a defining aspect of her career and legacy, the opportunity of a lifetime. Back in December 1980, Raquel Welch was given what many considered the opportunity of a lifetime. She was cast in the film adaptation of John Steinbeck's Canary, a project that promised to elevate her career to new heights. Directed by David S. Ward, the film was highly anticipated and had the potential to showcase her acting range in a serious, dramatic role. Welch was enthusiastic about the project. She saw it as a chance to break away from the typecasting that had plagued her career and prove herself as a serious actress. She prepared rigorously for the role, eager to bring Steinbeck's complex characters to life on the big screen. However, tensions began to rise almost immediately after filming started. MGM executives and Welch clashed over various aspects of the production. The studio had high expectations, and the actress's insistence on doing things her way quickly became a point of contention. She was known for her meticulous approach to her appearance and demanded control over her hair and makeup, a practice that MGM found unusual and inconvenient. Further complicating matters were the early morning rehearsals that Welch reportedly refused to attend. The studio interpreted her actions as a lack of commitment, while she believed she was maintaining her professional standards. This friction highlighted the broader struggles she faced in Hollywood, where her desire for control over her career often put her at odds with the powerful men running the industry. After 4 weeks of filming, MGM made the abrupt decision to fire Welch. The official reason given was that she was not living up to her contractual obligations. The studio replaced her with Deborah Winger, a younger actress who was seen as more compliant. This move was not only a professional blow to the actress, but also a personal affront. She later remarked, "It was a devastating experience. I felt like everything I had worked for was being taken away from me." The firing quickly became a public scandal. Media outlets jumped on the story, painting her as difficult and hard to work with. This narrative played into the existing stereotypes about female stars who dared to assert themselves. The press coverage was relentless, and Welch found herself under intense scrutiny. Determined to fight back, she decided to take legal action against MGM. She filed a lawsuit for wrongful termination, arguing that the studio had conspired to remove her from the project unjustly. Her legal team presented evidence suggesting that MGM's decision was financially motivated, aiming to save money by replacing her with a less expensive actress. The lawsuit dragged on for years, becoming a significant legal battle in Hollywood. In 1986, the court ruled in Welch's favor, awarding her $11.8 million in damages. The ruling was a landmark moment, highlighting the often exploitative practices of the film industry. However, the victory came at a great cost. The controversy and subsequent blackballing by the industry effectively stalled her career. Despite the legal win, she struggled to find roles of the same caliber as before. The Canary Row incident was a pivotal moment in her career, underscoring the challenges she faced in an industry that was often hostile to strong, independent women. It also revealed the lengths to which studios would go to maintain control over their stars. Welch's battle with MGM was not just about a single film. It was about asserting her rights and fighting against the systemic inequalities that defined Hollywood at the time. The legal battle and its fallout. Raquel Welch's decision to sue MGM for wrongful termination was both bold and risky. The lawsuit, filed in 1981, alleged that the studio had conspired to replace her with a younger, less expensive actress to cut costs. She claimed that her firing from Canary Row was not due to her behavior on set, but rather a calculated move by MGM to save money. The legal battle was intense and protracted, lasting nearly 5 years. The legal team argued that MGM's actions were a breach of contract and that the studio had failed to provide a legitimate reason for her termination. They presented evidence that Welch had been professional and committed to the role, countering the studio's claims that she had been difficult to work with. MGM, on the other hand, portrayed Welch as a diva who made unreasonable demands and disrupted the production process. They cited her refusal to attend early morning rehearsals and her insistence on doing her own hair and makeup as examples of her unprofessional behavior. The studio's defense hinged on the argument that Welch's actions had negatively impacted the film's production schedule and overall quality. Throughout the trial, Welch remained adamant that she had been wronged. In interviews, she stated, "I stood up for myself because I knew I was right. I wasn't going to let them push me around." Her determination to fight for her rights garnered both support and criticism. Some industry insiders admired her courage, while others viewed her actions as a futile attempt to salvage her reputation. In 1986, the court ruled in Welch's favor, awarding her $11.8 million in damages. The ruling was a significant victory not just for her, but for all actors who had faced similar injustices in Hollywood. The court's decision highlighted the power dynamics within the industry and underscored the importance of holding studios accountable for their actions. However, the fallout from the lawsuit was far-reaching. Despite winning the case, Welch's career suffered immensely. The controversy surrounding the lawsuit had tarnished her reputation, and many producers and directors were hesitant to work with her. She found herself blacklisted by major studios, struggling to secure roles that matched her talent and experience. The media's portrayal of Welch during and after the trial did little to help her situation. She was often depicted as a difficult and demanding actress, reinforcing the negative stereotypes that had plagued her career. The press coverage focused more on the drama of the lawsuit than on the systemic issues it exposed. In reflecting on the lawsuit, she later said, "It was a bittersweet victory. I won the case, but I lost so much more in the process." Her words captured the complexity of her situation, a triumph in the courtroom that did little to restore her standing in Hollywood. The legal battle with MGM marked a turning point in Welch's career, shifting her focus from mainstream Hollywood films to other projects. She continued to act, but the roles she received were often in independent films or television movies. Despite the challenges, she remained resilient, determined to continue her career on her own terms. The blackballing and its consequences. Raquel Welch's victory in the lawsuit against MGM was a significant moment in Hollywood history, but it came at a steep price. The fallout from the case had a profound impact on her career, leading to her being blackballed by the industry. The term blackballing refers to the practice of unofficially banning someone from employment within a particular industry. For Welch, this meant that many major studios and producers were reluctant to hire her for future projects. The blackballing was a direct consequence of the negative publicity generated by the lawsuit. Despite the court ruling in her favor, the media portrayal of Welch as a difficult and demanding actress persisted. This narrative, combined with the industry's tendency to avoid controversy, resulted in fewer opportunities. The impact of being blackballed was immediate and severe. Roles that would have once been easily accessible were now out of reach. She found herself competing for parts in independent films and television movies far removed from the high-profile projects she had been accustomed to. The quality and prestige of the roles she received were not on par with her previous work. In a 1996 interview, she reflected on the challenges she faced during this period. After the lawsuit, it was like I was invisible. I wasn't getting the same calls, the same offers. It was a hard pill to swallow, but I knew I had to keep going, she said. Her resilience and determination to continue working despite the obstacles were evident. During the 1980s and 1990s, Welch took on a variety of roles in an effort to rebuild her career. She appeared in television movies such as Scandal in a Small Town, 1988, and Torch Song, 1993. These projects allowed her to continue acting, but they did not carry the same weight or visibility as her earlier work. Welch also turned to the stage, finding success in live theater. She starred in productions such as Woman of the Year on Broadway and Victor Victoria in the West End. These roles showcased her versatility and allowed her to connect with audiences in a new way. The theater provided a platform to demonstrate her talent beyond the confines of Hollywood. Despite these efforts, the blackballing had a lasting impact on Welch's career trajectory. The stigma attached to her name made it difficult to regain the same level of prominence she had enjoyed in the 1960s and 1970s. The industry's reluctance to embrace her fully highlighted the broader issues of power and control that pervaded Hollywood, public perception, and media portrayal. The media has always played a crucial role in shaping public perception of celebrities, and Raquel Welch was no exception. Her journey from a Hollywood icon to a controversial figure and then a fitness advocate was closely followed and often sensationalized by the press. The media's portrayal of Welch was a double-edged sword, contributing to both her fame and the challenges she faced. In the early years of her career, the media celebrated her as a sex symbol and glamorous movie star. Magazine covers, interviews, and photo spreads highlighted her beauty and screen presence. Her iconic appearance in 1 Million Years BC solidified her status as an international sex symbol. The image of Welch in a fur bikini became one of the most famous promotional stills in film history. However, as her career progressed, the media's focus began to shift. Stories about her alleged difficult behavior on set and clashes with directors started to surface. The Canary controversy and her subsequent lawsuit against MGM intensified this negative portrayal. Headlines labeled her as a diva, and the press often exaggerated her demands and actions. This narrative overshadowed her professionalism and dedication to her craft. Despite the negative press, Welch remained resilient and continued to speak out about her experiences. In interviews, she addressed the unfair treatment and double standards in the industry. She also used her platform to advocate for gender equality and actors' rights. "I've always believed that if you want something, you have to fight for it," she said in a 1994 interview. Her willingness to confront these issues head-on resonated with many and helped to shift some public perceptions. In the 1980s and 1990s, as Welch transitioned to stage work and became a fitness icon, the media's portrayal began to change again. Her successful Broadway debut in Woman of the Year and her fitness programs garnered positive attention. The press started to highlight her versatility and resilience, recognizing her ability to reinvent herself. Welch's fitness videos and business ventures were well received, and the media praised her dedication to health and wellness. She was featured in numerous magazines and television shows, discussing her fitness routines and promoting a healthy lifestyle. This positive coverage helped to rebuild her image and introduced her to a new generation of fans.